Again, thank you for having us. My name, as Luisa said, is Lucía Muñoz. I am a researcher at the University of Coimbra Institute for Legal Research. And together with my colleague, Professor Alexandra Aragão, we will present a game that we have developed in this institute. So before delving into the specifics of the game, I would like to provide a brief overview of the context in which this game was created. This game is based on a research activity conducted as part of the EUCMB project. The EUCMB project is funded by the Horizon Europe program and is coordinated, as Luisa said, at the University of Coimbra by Professor Dulce Lopes, who has also participated in developing this game, but she's not here with us today. Other partners include different universities and private organizations from all over the world, such as the University of Essex, Bergamo, Wellington in New Zealand, etc. So what is the project about? The project addresses the need for the introduction of new forms of citizen participation and deliberation in European Union political life, and particularly a citizens' assembly whose design and implementation addresses issues of intersectionality, inclusiveness, and equality. In other words, although we have many deliberative democratic mechanisms being held alongside Europe, this has not always been accompanied by adequate considerations of how to build these mechanisms to ensure avoidance of intersectional discrimination and also the exclusion of vulnerable groups of citizens. So that is what we are trying to solve in this project. As part of a project task, we created a glossary of 162 concepts related to deliberative democracy and intersectionality. The purpose of this glossary is to compile various concepts about this topic that may serve as a resource for different audiences. For instance, participants in citizens' assembly, NGOs, translators, facilitators, organizers, and of course, the general public. And for that reason, and also for pedagogical purposes, we present each concept in 3 simplification levels. As you can see in this example, we have the simple language, which is the one on the top. We have the plain language, even more simple. And we have the non-verbal language, which is the icon on the right. The next step involves integrating this glossary in an interactive and targeted way on the website of the project. So visitors to the website will have the option to select the type of concepts they wish to view. For instance, I only have 5 minutes to read the basic concept. I know the concept, so me only the hardest one, and then you click there, and the website lets you to the more difficult concepts, what I am doing here, and so on. Well, all this material has been used to make a game with educational purposes that can be used in schools and high schools to learn more about democracy. So now I will pass the floor to my colleague Alexandra as the one who conceptualized and designed the game. Okay. Please, Alexandra.
Thank you very much, Lucia. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So the concept that we are going to use to transform a glossary into a game is the concept of transmedia communication. You have probably heard about it. It is a way of using different communication channels. The example that you can see here is the example of Harry Potter. The same narrative, the same storyline can be used in books, in films, in digital games, and so on. And that's what we did. The storyline that we had was our glossary. And so we decided to use the glossary into a gamified version, using it for pedagogic purposes in a serious game that is being implemented by university students in our faculty. It will be applied on the 23rd of April to visiting students in our university. You can move on, Lucia, please. Thank you. So this is how the manual of the book looks like. It explains the concept of the game. It explains the rules and the mechanics of the game in a very simplified way. What we had to do was to adapt a glossary, so a list of concepts with 2 levels of simplified language definitions to a game. And this implied using the gamifying rules. Can you please move on, Lucia, please? Thank you. So we decided to reduce the number of concepts that we were using. We had 162, sorry, there is a bug there, 162 concepts. And for the purposes of the game, we chose 28 concepts. They were the most challenging and interesting concepts, like discrimination, bias, for instance, and other concepts connected to social networks and so on. Then we had to adjust the complexity level. So we left out some concepts which were a bit too difficult for the purpose. We used randomization rules. So some rules of the game are based on luck. They are random numbers that are generated to see who plays first. Then there is a time control. Speed is important in the game in order to make it more competitive. There are strategies as group strategies that can be used during the exercise of the game. Students are organized in different groups. Some of them fetch the definitions, the others have the concepts, and they have to work together as a team to match as fast as possible the definitions with the concepts. So this is a strategy game as well, collective strategy. And we also have a ranking. So typically the games have a prize and they have a ranking. We do that, but in a very pedagogic way. So there are winners, but there will be no losers. All the students will discuss in the end the concepts that they thought were more challenging, more difficult to understand, or that they did not know, they were not aware of those concepts before. So what we learned with our exercise were the rules of adapting something that is not a game, but is a story, a narrative, adapting it to a gamified approach. So transforming something into a game. This was done for the first time in this game, but we still intend to use the same material, the glossary of intersectionality and public participation in European Union in other games that are still going to be developed. So the idea of transmedia, using the same narrative in different media, will be further developed by us here at the University of Coimbra. That's all. Thank you.